It's now playing.
So I'll introduce you to Dennis, who is going to assist me in showing you where we place the saddle. We find so commonly that customers put the saddle too far forwards. We see photos all over the media of saddles that are too far forwards, up the horse's neck. So I just really wanted to do a video to show you exactly how we locate where to put the saddle. The saddle should be 3 fingers behind the shoulder blade, but that's the tree points of the saddle. So I'm going to show you how to find the tree points as well, and we'll locate the shoulder blade, and we're going to stand back and look at exactly where the saddle sits and talk about how you can check that your saddle's in the right place. Dennis has got a chunky shoulder. He's a purebred Connemara. He's quite a big chap, and his muscle kind of flows over his shoulder, so it's not very distinct. It's not the easiest to find. But if you really press in around here, you will find the back of the shoulder blade, and on him it's actually easier with him leaning forwards, so it becomes quite pronounced. But you do want to check that the horse's front legs are vertical, because the shoulder blade moves in location to that, in relation to the leg position. So this is the back of his shoulder blade, and you really can slide your hand over, bony, 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 and then it drops. So that's Dennis's shoulder blade is here, and you can see he's got quite a front on him, and saddles effectively have to be a fair way back. So we're going to grab 2 saddles. In fact, we'll start with a jump saddle, and we're going to look at how that sits on him. So this is the Optimus Jump from AH Saddles. He has 2 saddles. I'm just going to check the number there, hasn't folded up underneath. So we find that shoulder blade again. So I'm coming around there, I'm finding the back of the shoulder blade. And then I'm looking at the tree points. Now this is a bit more detailed, and if you have Velcro on your saddle, you're not going to see this obvious stitch line. So on this saddle there is a stitch line. It's in a U, and it goes around the tree points, and the tree points are hard, they are solid. On our saddles, on every saddle of ours, you will have a point strap attached as well. So this is the tree point, and the front edge of it, you can find it with the stitch line or through tapping it, because you really can feel it. And we're looking at a good 3 fingers, particularly with a jump saddle. So ignore where the flap sits. You're not worrying about the flap. So I'm going to find the shoulder blade, which is there, and it's just under the front of the saddle. And I'm going to place my hand roughly there, and the tree points are here. We've got tons of space on this saddle, so that's plenty far enough back. You're double checking on the back rib, and his back rib is here. This is a generous saddle on him. You would not get any longer on him at all. It's got a big footprint being a jump saddle. So if I stand back a little bit, you're going to see that the saddle essentially is sitting in the middle of him. You can see his front. It's not covering his front up, and it will sit in correct balance. Now this is not girthed up, but if your saddle fits well, it should fit in pretty much correct balance. Girthing this will pull the front down very slightly. So standing back and perhaps taking a photo when your saddle fit has been, saddle girthed up, you keep it on your phone for reference, and you're going to be able to then double check that you've got the saddle in the right place. But always stand back, get all of your horse in the viewfinder. So that's a jump saddle. I want you to see the look of that because it's forward cut, and I'm going to get his show saddle. So this is his traditional working hunter, and the numner will disguise it. I might take the numner off in a second to give you a clearer view of this, but the back of the saddle sits in roughly the same place. I mean, it's a little bit further forwards, but again you can see the saddle's in the middle of the horse. So again we find the shoulder blade, which is about there, and I find the tree points, which are here. Now this is a little bit closer to the back of the shoulder blade. We are we're probably on the 3 fingers there, and you can see visually just so different. Straight cut flap, more space at the front. So just don't judge from where the flap sits. You can get used to your own saddle and where it sits visually from the flap, but you can't judge every saddle by that. You really will end up putting, straight cut saddles too far up the horse's neck, with probably your jump saddle sat a bit too far back, maybe, but that's rare, really rare. So I will just whip off the numner and you can see how it looks. I've taken the numner off and I'm going to show you a little bit more detail. You might be able to see more clearly. Back of the shoulder blade is there. Front of the tree points, let's find it again. Yeah, back of the shoulder blade is there, front of the tree points is there. So I hope you can see it's about 2 inches. You know, I would say 3 of my fingers. And it is difficult to judge because your knee block's in the way, but stand here, you know, stand in line with it. And again, you should see that saddle is sitting right in the middle of him. You can see his front. He might be standing like a little bit of a camel, but you know, you can still see that that's in the middle. So if your saddle is slipping, if you've got problems, if your horse is unhappy, the first thing to check is where are you putting your saddle, and go back to your saddle fitter. Send them a photo. Am I putting it in the right place? It is literally the first thing you should think of. And then that if you change the girth straps, it's likely to affect where your saddle wants to sit. It's all tied in together. It will all affect your horse, and it's all really important. I hope that was useful. I know we all bang on about putting the saddle far enough back. Actually showing you, I really hope, starts to help you get your eye in, and you'll be spotting an awful lot of saddles placed too far forwards up the horse's neck on your travels. Yeah, it's an interesting one.